Okay, so sorry about that. I got a phone call from my husband. So as um as I was like, okay, I'm kind of more confident about this. I think I can help somebody with their Facebook ads, right? And I had started to help a few people. Some of them were getting good results. And I was like, okay, let me make a post about this. And I posted about the Facebook ads that I could possibly help somebody, that I was just trying it out, that like I really didn't know what I was doing, but like if anyone was willing to let me try, I would run like $100 of their ads for free. And that single post generated over $10,000 in my business. And I was like, just the mom entrepreneur stuff. I had to listen to myself that and look at the numbers, right? That like I was kind of good at Facebook ads, right? I had to listen to myself that although it wasn't coaching and that's what I love to do, that I wanted to try it. And so I think that we try so hard to like know all of the answers when we get the download, right? When we get the idea, the inspiration, the whim, the whatever you want to call it, we want to map out every detail. And sometimes those details are not going to present themselves until 5, 10 weeks, days, hours down the line. And we cannot predict that, right? We can ask ourselves the questions to try to get there. But ultimately, some things just have to unfold as they do. Okay? So that is kind of like what I'm talking about. The secret of trusting yourself is really trusting yourself, even if things are not perfect, even if things are like feel unsure. We have to trust ourselves, and that's really like one of my favorite things that I've been playing with and experimenting with of my own. And and similarly, right? So the reason that I wanted to do this live was because you guys have heard, I don't know if you've heard of this, but I have a podcast episode with Jean Thompson, who was a previous client of mine, and all about trusting yourself. So I'm going to link that in the show notes, or in the show notes, like I'm doing the podcast, in the comment section below. I'll link to that. But the reason I wanted to do this, because I was on another call last week with another girl, and she was really upset because she had been trusting herself, and she built up a pretty good funnel, right? And the funnel was not a traditional funnel where it's like through email or anything, but the funnel was through the process through which she took her clients through the sales process. So intuitively she knew she wanted to do a small offer and what it was, and then she offered them a group, and then she offered them something else, and the whole thing was working beautifully. And then she hired somebody to help her in her business, and the coach told her, now if you listened to yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember now what day, but like coaches are not supposed to tell you what to do. And so the coach told her, like, that is all wrong. The way you're doing everything is wrong. And she had to rechange everything that she was doing, which, you know what that led to was like no sales and not getting money in the door. And then she was strapping, and she was like really stressed out. And so the reason I wanted to do this episode is because sometimes what our gut is telling us is very right. And if we let things naturally evolve rather than pushing and pushing and pushing, we can get to better results than sometimes we can if we do all of the quote unquote right things. And again, this is something I've only just been experimenting with, because in my like character is not really to defy laws and like to do things my own way. It's not really like built into how I think about things. And so, like the whole rebel thing, like, yeah, that's cool. But I also really like to follow the rules. Okay, so the reason I wanted to talk about that is because sometimes if you are listening to your gut, like, it is right. And actually, probably most of the time, it is the right thing for you. And so being okay with that, even if it defies the quote unquote rules, and really, who made the rules, right? I'm going to be talking more about this concept because I think it's really important. But who made the rules? Okay? We are entrepreneurs. We make our own rules. And so just because a rule works for somebody else's business does not mean it works for yours. And this is part of it, right? Is finding your own inner guidance within yourself and listening to that. So that is today's show. Like I said, I finally named the show. All came about pretty naturally, and just thank you to my mastermind sisters who helped me with it. And that is it for today. I hope you have an awesome, amazing day. And if you're not already signed up for the Decision Matrix, go ahead and sign up. That is, it's a tool that I use in a training to help you to decide what social platform to be on to be most profitable. And I do it based on what are you good at? What are your strengths, right? Like, what do you want to be on? Where are your ideal clients? And we meet you halfway, because I don't like the idea of cookie cutter systems. I don't like the idea of only having the, just go create XYZ, right? Like, go start Pinterest, do everything on Pinterest, and like, who knows if that's right for you or not. So this decision matrix will help you to identify if that would be a profitable platform for you, and helps you to decide that and then start creating content on it. So if you want that, it's at marianacruiz.com/decide. And I think it's in 2 days. I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live on my business page, more about this whole selling topic. And I mentioned it here already, but I had a huge fear of sales and how I overcame that. So if you want that, go to marianacruiz.com/decide. Have an awesome day. Chat with you soon.